An historic decision today in a years-long battle over how and when cities can sweep homeless encampments.
Yeah, today's decision will give cities much more latitude to perform sweeps, but critics say it turns homelessness into a crime. The case centered around whether cities can ticket or arrest people for sleeping in public places. A federal appeals court had banned the practice unless those people were offered shelter. Well, today, the 6 conservative justices on the high court overturned that decision, ruling that anti-camping ordinances do not violate the constitutional ban on cruel and unusual punishment. The ruling will have huge implications all across California. Wilson Walker's in San Francisco. What that could mean for the city's effort to address the homeless crisis.
So at this very moment, we are analyzing the decision. We will be providing additional guidance and legal advice to the administration and policymakers as they think about how to change policy based on this decision.
San Francisco City Attorney David Chu says the work is already underway, reshaping city policy on how to manage encampments, particularly when services are declined. As we have shown, some on the streets reject shelter options for various reasons, sometimes for personal safety concerns.
And for people to do them type of drugs can end up living and dying on the streets, and it's real easy.
As in there's someone there to save you.
Correct.
Right.
It's totally bullshit. They go up and they want you to throw away all your personal property and drop everything and go with them. And go to a dorm where they're just stacking. It's like a mental house in there, for real.
The decision is going to provide us with more flexibility in how we address this.
The city attorney repeatedly used the word flexibility, effectively suggesting law enforcement and citations may be needed in some cases.
If you ask any number of city workers what needs to happen, what's appropriate on one block, on one street is different from what happens elsewhere.
Mayor London Breed applauded the decision, saying it will, quote, help cities like San Francisco manage our public spaces more effectively and efficiently.
Sadly, this is an opinion shared by the most conservative Supreme Court justices in our own Mayor London Breed and our Governor Gavin Newsom.
Homeless advocates decried the ruling as the criminalization of poverty. The Coalition on Homelessness, which has sued the city over its policies, says it will continue that fight.
Leading up to this decision, from our perspective, the city's already taken off their gloves. We're just going to keep at it, and this lawsuit will continue in full speed.
The mayor used that injunction as an excuse. She should have built the shelter beds and cleared the sidewalks years ago.
Politics followed the ruling as well. Daniel Lurie said the city has been too slow to build out shelter space and get aggressive about filling it up, but it's hardly clear that the court's decision will create any dramatic changes in that regard.
The world for our police officers, our public works employees, everybody out on the streets on Monday is not going to be dramatically different from the world today.
Supervisor Raphael Mandelman, who also applauded the ruling, says it still leaves San Francisco facing the same hard fundamental choices about how to manage homelessness in the city.
There's real policy choices about how comfortable we are with our public spaces as they are now, how willing we are to lean into a law enforcement response to try and address it. That doesn't mean we shouldn't have a compassionate response to homelessness. We should, we need to. As a city, that's what I think most people want. But there is a divide about how aggressively we want to try to take back these public spaces.
The decision, of course, does not end the case. It now goes back to the lower courts to be resolved in accordance with that 6-3 ruling. And as you heard, San Francisco still faces these old choices about how aggressive to be in these matters. And the decision out of Washington certainly does not end that.
Well, San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan says the ruling does not change his city's policy on homelessness. He said it will continue to favor giving people multiple chances to accept shelter before arresting them.
I don't have a problem with us enforcing our laws, but you don't solve homelessness by simply making it illegal. The way we solve it is by scaling up basic dignified shelter, managed locations where people can be.
Well, this comes as new surveys find that San Jose has the fourth highest number of homeless people per capita in the U.S. This is behind Eugene, Oregon, Los Angeles, and New York. The Insider Monkey report found nearly 4,300 new households did experience homelessness in San Jose for the first time last year. The mayor said the city just approved funding for 800 new tiny homes as an alternative to those traditional shelters on top of the 500 already in use.